Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Ultimate General Civil War with me, your host, Luckymarine. Now, I have sorted out my third corps. I've taken out anybody who reached the top rank and just chucked them in our reserve for the moment. Longstreet had his own corps, as did McClaw's. Taken them out, replaced them with either what is this? Major General or a Brigadier General, just so that we're constantly trying to up our experience, which is what have we got? What is this? Trainer. Now, we didn't choose this. When you start the game chooses your first thing for you, and this time around we got trainer. I think last time we got supplied, I think, something like that. Yeah, I think we had supply last time, or strategy even last time. But no, this time we ended up picking up trainer. So we've rolled with that, and this campaign is all about using that stat and training our troops to a high level without supplying them with the latest weapons, which has meant that we've saved to this point almost 1.8 million. What will turn out to be useless Confederate dollars. But anyway, next fight is Laurel Hill, Spindle Hill and Spindle Field, is it? And the whole march on Spotsylvania, which is weird because they were trying to get from. I'll let you have a look. They were trying to get from like over here to Richmond, and so where is it? Richmond, Harrisonburg, up to somewhere fair. Elkins. There we go. It's around here. Prominent ridge line. Here we go. Zoom in until you see a. There we go. Laurel Hill battlefield. So they were trying to get from like over here to Richmond. Where do you think a really good defensive terrain is? Yeah, it might be this. this massive, weird geological structure, and it is weird. The whole of America up here is weird. I mean, if you didn't think I was already a bit of a nerd and a bit of a geek, now it will be confirmed to you. See, this whole thing that stretches thousands and thousands and thousands of miles shouldn't be here. This is the kind of shit that you get between tectonic plates. This is like Mariana Trench kind of weird geological thing, and it's just row upon row of massive mountains, all parallel with each other. But the weird thing is, right, where we're going. California, it's tectonic plates in California that's smashing against each other. This kind of geology is tectonic plates smashing against each other. It's higgledy-piggledy. There's no straight lines apart from general line. That's not the same as what we're looking at over here. Again, if we look at where else? India. Let's go to India briefly. Yeah, it's a Civil War game, but let's go to India. Right, probably one of the most recognizable geological structures that has Everest in it and all that kind of stuff, where the Indian plate is smashing against the Asian one, and you've got the Everest popping up that's getting bigger every year by a couple of centimeters. But this is two plates smashing together, and this looks nothing like what you've got. The only place that I could find that was remotely similar was kind of this here, where you've got lines of mountains parallel to each other, and this, I think, is where one plate stretches against another one without actually directly hitting into it. It's pushing mountains into straight lines. And that makes sense, because this is the edge of a plate. But this isn't. And I don't know what this is. I've had a little look on it, and apparently there is evidence of earlier on geological movement, but I still don't know how this has happened. If someone can tell me, if someone can enlighten me here, I would be grateful. Anyway, back to history. Now, so we've established that this might be a really good defensive position. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's first-hand person it. I think it was about here where we had a good view. Oh, which way is it? Lost my bearings now. Where are we looking? I think it's that way. Yeah, it'll be that way, where the little doo-doo is. But yeah, you're a Union soldier. No, you're a Confederate soldier. You're like, right, you're the cavalry, which is weird because cavalry are weird. Known lots of cavalry people. They ended up swapping their horses for tanks, and yeah, they're all a bit odd. You're going to identify this as a really good defensive position. Now, the Union soldiers that were running after them, as soon as they saw that the cavalry units had stopped to fight them, should have known better. Now, I don't know how to say this without sounding disparaging, but cavalry aren't known for their amazing acts of selfless valor, should I say. Yeah, everyone's going to come back at me with various examples. And do it. Yeah, and do that, because I enjoy learning almost as much as people have a joy for proving others wrong. But cavalry, they tend to, they're flashy and they like the glory, but they're not a fan of getting their hands dirty. As soon as the Union troops saw that the cavalry had dug in, they should have known that support wasn't far away. And it wasn't. They got to this position. Let's have a look. Spindle Hill. Marching into this kind of terrain. Oh, this is what they were going into. And suddenly, apparently, quoted, they walked into a sheet of flame, because I think it was Anderson that marched up into position just before the Union launched their attack. And yeah, the Union got the shit kicked out of them. But then you've got so many fallback points, as I alluded to before, line upon line upon line upon line of mountainous region here. Anyone with a map back then should have thought, this isn't a place to fight, let's just find a way around, let's try and get round them and into Richmond instead of fighting through this. But they did, and shit hit the fan. Anyway, back to this. You the 3rd Corps, 24 brigades out of 25. I still don't know how you get the 25th Brigade, but let's go for this. Right. So this is the cav that dug themselves in. 7th South Carolina, 3rd, 5th. Yep. There must have been a runner. There must have been contact with the army behind that was coming to support. There's no way that cav would just dig in without support. And the Union should have known that. I mean, they should have recognised that. So we'll put one unit here. This is about the time when these defensive positions become almost acceptable. Someone's how many guns have you got? 15. I think we've got better than that. We'll get 24 pounders. I think we've got 2 at 16. Yep. So one there. Nope, just a 15. 16. There we go. Hill and fauna. I think that's as much as we can take for the moment. We'll want hill. This looks weak. This looks almost acceptable. And this looks weak as well. We might push the 9th up here. Get Zook into here. Someone did tell me that you pronounced Zook as in Tuck or Rook. Instead of I was pronouncing it Zook, and it's not. We'll get both of our 24 pounders. 1, 2, 3. That's enough up there. Yeah, we'll get both of our 20 pounders down here. 24 pounders even. There's nothing down here. Yeah, we'll get them moving as quickly as we can. Support. Oh, we've got supplies there. I'll bring our supplies down here as well. We'll come down here as well. This looks very weak. This looks... Yeah, for a defensive point, this looks fairly horrific, so we'll march the majority of our forces down here. Okay, so second South Carolina. Let's push you up there. I want you into this position just here. I want you running. I'd like you to be running. 2, I'd also like to split skirmishers off from you. Place them in an advanced position. Make use of their spotting range. Split skirmishers off from you. And from you. Same again. Oh, there we go. Just by splitting skirmishers off. We'll bring you down this way. Split skirmishers off. And have them occupy those houses. In fact, you occupy this location. So we shuffle people down so that if they do come this way early on, it's not left weak. And we can push. Who is it? Who's it here? Baldwin, Haygood. Into these locations. Have you running? Both cannons. Let's get you here initially. We'll run down and the supplies can run down here as well. Zook. Wow. Forgot already. You run that way. And our cannons. Yeah, cannons can line up. Just there. Oh wow. Yeah, everybody step off the defensive positions for the moment. Weird thing with defensive positions, they're really easy to spot. I suppose it's evident in the fact that just splitting skirmishers off here spotted these guys in the defences. If we step off them to the very last minute, to the last second, I doubt we'll get artillery fire. Let's have you running, and you running, you can rest when you get there. Let's not fire on them. Who are you aiming at? Who is this here that we haven't seen? Oh, I see. Can I cover you in? Now, our skirmishers have the CS Richmond. Not just our skirmishers, but all these units have the CS Richmonds. So we could do with them dying, to be honest. Let's pull you out and take advantage of 344 skirmishers. This isn't a unit that's been detached, I don't think. Although the AI can field bigger units than us. I've seen them up at 2,900. So, I don't know, a quarter of that. Still won't push it as high as 344 with it. Oh, it might just be specialist skirmisher unit. To that end, they may have really good rifles. Who's down here? Come on. Oh, here they come. What is this? What is this? Skirmishers just go. Oh no. I've just forgotten somebody. Well, I think they're probably going to be needed over here. That was that was strategic. That I was just waiting for where we'd need them before pushing on it. Honest. They're in the middle of nowhere. Oh wow. Okay. Excellent. We'll try chase them to an extent with the 7th South Carolina. Oh, you guys off away. I think we're going to be needed down here. Who can you see? Why are you firing over here? Maybe he's up. I'll cover you in here. 100% full cover. What's this? Earthworks fortification gives you a 100% bonus. 100% cover bonus, but also gives you melee resistance and a projectile resistance. So what's our projectile resistance being in the cover of woods? It doesn't say. Why doesn't it say? You would have projectile resistance just by the fact of you were in woods. Stood, knelt, laid behind tree trunks. Would you not? That's why I want I want more from these numbers. I want cover to go up to what's the most cover we can have? Cover 160. Cover in a building is 200. 115. Light cover is 150. Yeah, so I want this number to be able to go up to 200. I mean 200%. No, I don't. I don't want it to go up to 200 because 200% is a nonsense. I want it to scale to the point where if you're in buildings, you're at 100% cover, and scale everything back accordingly, so that even in full cover, I don't know what the scaling would be. Fairly crap at maths. So yeah, I don't want numbers that go above 100% because it's a nonsense. I want, yeah. Also, I think we impart something like a 10% cover bonus. I want to see that. I want to see the people inside our hoop maybe have a slightly different colour, where 10% is maybe, I don't know what colour is not being used. Red. No, red denotes something bad, doesn't it? I don't know. Another colour. Something different. Maybe blue or green or anything else. Just something extra. Another bar that on top of this cover that includes being in the range of a general that's imparting a cover bonus. It's numbers. It's strategy games. Strategy people who play strategy games have massive hard-ons for numbers, and if you can satiate that desire for numbers, then you're onto a winner. We don't want acceptable games. We don't want accessible games even. We just want games that are hard to get into but are rewarding. Alright, so they were focusing on the 15th South Carolina, but now 15th South Carolina are out of sight, they're also out of mind. So these lot are going to focus on the point. But in that time, we've got Haygood in here, and Baldwin here as well. However, we can bring out the 15th to harass flanks if needs be. I think I'm going to put Haygood on the actual point. Baldwin on the point as well. And on the point they'll incur battery fire. But Yankee cavalry spotted whereabouts. Can't see him. Zook. Into there. Let's try and stop these in their tracks. Cable. It's probably your time to shine. Hasket. What are you? Yeah, go on then. Hugo. You do have longer range, therefore your shell fire engages that a little bit further. So go on then. You can fire as well. And how are we? Well, I think this is going to be a charge against this. Let's get down here. When you firing cable, firing into somebody said the other day that he doesn't like me continually pausing, and I accept that. However, so much happens in such a short space of time. Now, I don't think I'd be able to play this efficiently without pausing every now and then, because so much happens. Alright, when are you running down here? The 8th South Carolina, I want you lined up behind Baldwin. Looks like he's gonna have issues soon. I want you into a little bit better cover, I think. That's 85. Forno, you line up behind Baldwin. Hill, you line up behind Law. Oh, hold where you are. You're already firing into the flanks. Splendid. Let's get a few more shots away on airs as he leaves range. You switch fire, you switch fire. Looks like another charge here. Let's have you in this little gap. Actually no, there's nobody here now, is there? Right, you're on the defensive position. Skirmishers into this place here. And we have skirmishers. Skirmishers can fire over, well, anyone can fire over the heads of people ahead. I want you moving out and firing into miles. And let's push you back into cover. Cable, you push ahead slightly. So chased off Miles. Let's get a few pot shots on him as he's going. You Fauna, what kind of cover are you in? It's not that good, is it? It's dumb. You'll be fine. Hill, who are you firing at? No, fire at Fisher. Hers is going to come back to exactly the same position. Now push the 2nd South Carolina skirmishers out to this corner here to get a view on this area. If there's nobody here, we'll pull the 2nd and the 3rd into the flank of theirs. Get on. Okay, okay. So there are people here. We can always, yeah, we can always come back. We can always pull the 2nd and the 3rd back if needs be, but another charge. Let's focus on the one charging. You've been seen. Let's pull back a little bit. How's this? taking a while to get through these skirmishes. I might pull the 15th out. In fact, let's go get properly flanking shots on them. Nope. If they're gonna leave these cannons exposed, then we will go and play with them. Okay, you get into some cover. I don't think Ayersley's getting involved down this way just because he's taken the 2nd South Carolina into consideration. Alright, keep running until you have your morale back. Could really do with... these guys stand up. I don't know how long these have been just knocking about on the battlefield. I mean, not doing anything with them. Right. 2 should be sufficient there. We'll drag 1 down here. Wow, there's a lot down here. You do run as well. Some of us will push up to this location, and that cav we'll send down here. Okay, let's go hide. Skirmishers used to be in here, but now they've been turned away. It's alright, let's get you just out. And cannons, I need you to be focusing on the thing that's a threat to you. Nope, stay where you are. In fact, fall back and turn around a little bit. Don't want to be wasting your fire whilst you're here. Wait until they're into a bit of a clearing. Right now. They might be dead. I doubt we've got support coming quick enough for that. Yep, cannons are firing at the things that they need to be firing at. We'll push Gibson forward, pull the 5th South Carolina out of there. Is there any reason to though? They're holding their own. We'll just push Gibson a little further forward so they can get involved. They're firing through gaps, but I'm fine with them just being sat there. We'll push Buckley out here. And skirmishes. There's not a lot of them, so we'll pull you around the back. You can just be a nuisance. You're all firing at the... yeah. Good. Okay. Let's move. Are you firing it? Yep, that makes sense. Let's push you right behind Gibson, actually. Hate South Carolina. Where can we move you? Nowhere. We'll put Hayes down here instead. Let's get all the way around the back. We'll push you up. Just to illuminate where the cavalry went. Took advantage of their focus on Zook there. We're getting on, Danny. So we've driven them off. We could do with some more cannons down in this area. It's South Carolina. Let's get you in an area where you can cause mischief as well. Right, you two pull back. Ayers will come back, and if we're in this location, he'll just come back and angle himself to fire us. We want him to come back and aim for Zook. Zook. I keep saying Zook. You back into that area there. How are you blocked? Don't know, we're gonna have to wait for melee to happen. Keep going. Ooh, Custer. Custer has run blindly into Stedman. Probably gonna throw away his brigade. That's not like Custer's. Don't want to get too close to A, otherwise we'll end up in shell range. But it might be worth it to get rid of a cav unit. One of you off your horses. The other one carry on. I'm hoping they'll track Stedman. Doesn't look like it. Turn around far too slow. I don't get why it takes cavalry so long for the rocket fire to turn around. I have seen horses turn around. I know they can do it quite quickly. I've seen the whole dressage nonsense, you know, with dancy horses. You around the side. And continue around the side. You turn and face Gustav. Right, these cannons are locked onto Finnegan now. How the hell that took so long? How the hell it took so long for them to turn around? They bring it on themselves sometimes. Right, Ez is back. Let's go and attempt this again. Cannons are firing at, yeah, pretty much the right things. Within reason. I mean, they are in really good cover here. I'll give them that. Who's in melee? Gibson, can you fire into this? You can, excellent. South Carolina, can you fire into Davis? Okay. Ez isn't firing at anybody at the moment, so as soon as we hit him, he's going to tend to face us. So wait until Smythe gets out of there. Ez will probably move forward, and then we'll hit him. You retreat out of there. And go back. Whew, wow, okay. Have we not rid ourselves of this cannon yet? I mean, we're doing more damage to them than they're doing to us. In terms of cav, it's just the cannon that are around. They're focusing at us, but if they're focusing us and we're in decent cover, I'd rather that than focus the line that we're meant to be defending. Why is it? Oh, it should pop up in the middle of like you've reinforcements here, because you get hyper focused on the battle. I never see him. 65th skirmishers, you move up as well. I've forgotten that sent two of them all the way around and only stopped one of them. Oh, there it is. Nope. What are you in? 73, but you're the ones. Turn you around a little bit. I was saying, you're the ones that aren't ours. You're the ones that we could do with dying. Just to pick up the rifles. You two fire at that. Skirmishers can hopefully hold off Custer's charge. No, just get back on your horses. And keep going. How's the front looking? Alright, as it started to fire, and as it means we can move up and hit him in the flank with probably no reply. Oh my. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it worth it to get in behind him? Yeah. What isn't if they don't actually get in behind them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's just going to be more and more cannons turned up, isn't there? No, pull away. Cannons, are you firing the right things? You are good. Let's pull you two back. That might be the end of the skirmishes. Nelson and Whiting. Let's get you down this way. Buckley will pull you away. This will be decent cover here. I'd like to drag them a little further forward. In fact, what does that defensive position offer you? Supplies, let's... Oh, you're empty. Okay, fair enough. Well, you're nearly empty. Let's shuffle you onto the defensive position. We'll put you adjacent. So you've been turned away, but that's alright because the whole of that front is held by the 5th South Carolina and Buckley. We do have Gibson ready to jump onto this defensive position if the 5th get turned. Attack if it is practical. Are you shitting me? Attack what? Am I struggling bravely told and federal attack? Yep, fair enough. Have far more resources and we'll keep attacking. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's just go and attack that. I capture Union HQ at Allsop's Field. What balls do we get to Allsop's Field? Now I don't want to be running through these cannons. So no, this will be enough, I think. So we'll go north. In fact, I need you lot running. We'll send you north as well. I think 2 units down here would be enough. So Custer is no more. McAllister is firing into the flanks, not into the flanks, but into Haygood. So that means we can fire into his flanks. 2 full units, without reply, probably. Bartlett has been turned away, thankfully. Yeah, I think the best way to Allsops Field, yeah, Allsops Field, is going to be right over here and come down. Otherwise, we're going to have to force our way through the line of what, 5 artillery up here. Now there's no natural defensive line walking down this way, but at least if we're behind the defences, we can force them out. This isn't going to be fun. So what I meant about the last fight and this fight being almost grand battles in themselves. Okay. Go back a little bit. No, how about not... Why? 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 What about going the other way? Fine, go the other way and then we'll just spin you around when you get there. Oh Nelson, you brought this upon yourself. Let's just put you in this gap here. Actually, put you... Yeah, we've got Hayes down here. Put you both in this gap here, just in case this develops into being a bit nasty. We should probably rush down this hill. Get shots into the side of ours. Probably rush down this hill and try to take a war on it, actually. Superb. Get yourself away. Nice target of opportunity there. You're still seen by somebody. Let's get you slightly forward into cover. Oh yeah, we'll spin you around as well. You two, down the hill. Let's get into the flanks of whoever that is. And we'll start to stack people on the very northern edge of the map. Didn't want us to shuffle any further around here, otherwise they'd end up with flanks on Zook. You pull back until Barlow gets involved with Zook. You're empty. You still got waiters to go. Hey, good. How are you getting on in terms of? Yeah, we'll come down this line. you're firing. Let's go. Might get another shot on. Maybe with the third. That will do with the seconds though. Now you pull back and wait for ours. Give the third a little bit more time. And get yourself back. I was wanting them to shuffle further and further down again so that we can get Whiting and Nelson to the side of them. Looks like our skirmishers got annihilated. Not too surprised, to be honest. It's only 50 odd of them. Times like this, when it would be useful to have reconnaissance, I suppose, just to be able to gauge the enemy's strength. Although in terms of usefulness, I think getting things like medicine is of paramount importance. Organisation is nice, however, the last 2 pips maybe, probably not so much. To be able to get the ability to get that phantom 5th core that you can never get is yeah, a bit useless. Let's have you lot running over here. One of them, at least one of them, will get flanked by the second, but once we're behind we'll be able to rout them out of this position. Okay, you two fall back a little bit. Again, no idea why I'd have to change positions. And now you're gonna come within range naturally without us having to move up. Excellent. Go. Why is it when you move forward, it's alright, but if you want to move backwards, they'll do the whole song and dance. Looks like Tower took a hit from the second. Don't mind, carry on. How many of you died? Don't know, because you can't select a unit that's retreating. You turn and fire, the rest of you carry on. That will be a flanking shot. Breathe, you turn and fire as well. Preston. Get yourself around there. How's the rest of the map look? Looks okay. Looks okay. You fire into web. You too. Surprised web didn't break then. I think he's getting hit by Haygood as well. 15th, South Carolina. Let's move you out here. Can do some work as well. Yep. You lot, spread out. Let's create an avenue for Hayes and McGuinness to get in behind you. Tower, you did great work there. I mean, you didn't do much, but taking that hit allowed the rest of them to carry on. An unenviable task, but one that had to be done. Nelson's taking a hammering from this this artillery. It is just ball though. We might pull them back. The last thing I want is for them to get wrapped up into this position here. So, as tempting as it is to push Cav in there, I want you to come out. I want you two to fall back. If they're stretching their units down here to try and breach the line, then they're not clumped up onto that point. Zuck, how are you getting on? Holy moly, Zuck. Yeah, he's doing work. Okay, well, you're all same as even. You're a little bit further behind, so can't imagine much of that you're throwing down his shell. Fauna's doing alright. Hill's doing alright. Exceptionally well, actually. And we do have 2 units of cannon supporting this. Holland and Breathe, I need you to keep on the tail of the second. We'll use Preston and Tower in your place. Do we not have more people? Not really. We can chuck Forest around there actually. Some skirmishers, you go back to your unit. Let's push you out ever so slightly. Again, let's push you out. Give someone sort of cover you in. Okay, decent cover. Charge you, will use you and you to hopefully break the second as quickly as we can. And you 3 form up just there. Just there? Or do we want to get... No, actually, we'll go all the way around the back with everybody. So we're not going to have a link to this line. It's almost going to be as if we formed our own separate line behind their lines. I mean, they can have this position. In terms of what it provides, it's fairly useless. So I'd rather use what few troops we have here and put them in a decent position. You up north. It's gonna be crap. Okay. How do I first? Third. You go as well. Forest. You go as well. We'll use the 2nd South Carolina skirmishers just to keep vision in this area. I'll charge. Yep. They're running low on ammunition. Let's send you back up the line. You're empty. Let's pull you off to the rear. You're just getting in the way. Oh, it's my cat grumbling. Factor 7th Carolina. 15th South Carolina, sorry. I mean, we want these to die. It sounds bad, but we do. They have the Richmonds. The Richmonds are good rifles. I want to pick up as many of them as we can. Start running out of ammunition. You're doing good work. I was going to say, if you haven't picked up enough kills, I won't resupply you, but 1100 is nothing to sniff at. We'll have resupplied most of these guys whilst we were going back up the line. Baldwin, how about you? Yep, good. And you lot up north. I don't think they even got a shot away. If we can do that all the way into the corner and then get rid of them off the map, then we can turn and face, set up our own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man wide line with cannon support. And hopefully sweep onto the position that we need. Alright, so he's getting little shots off. Means he's below 50% morale. So a double volley, we'll rout him again, and we'll chase. And a double volley, rout, and chase. Surprised if he doesn't get down to at least 1300 this round. So they are pushing men further down. And this is what we wanted. We don't want to apply too much pressure down here so that he just naturally folded up into this defensive area. Want to try and lure him out as much as we can so that we can get in behind. Right, he has just fired. Should have time to get out, shot into the flank, and get away into what is full cover. Carry on. You two, carry on as well. Again, if this defensive position gets taken back, not too concerned. Go flank that. I should have identified that a lot sooner than I did. And pull back. Good. Keeping the morale low. It means every time that they get the shit together enough to turn and face, there's not enough effective fire being put down. Wait till Dow has turned himself around again, and then we'll go hit again. Oh no, Forno was killed. Where was he? Ah, he's on the cannon. Still. Did alright. What range have you got? That's like halfway across the damn map. Are you turned? You're about to fire. By the time we've broken cover, you will have fired and be vulnerable. Alright, so we're in a bit of cover here. I don't think we're going to get past here. We will do. We'll be able to get past. We'll take a few shots though. Anyway, in the midst of squishing this guy here. Let's get you around this side. You've nearly reloaded, I'll allow you to get another shot. Onto Doe. In fact, what I'm on about, we want you to die, don't we? Well, we don't want you to die, but you get what I mean. Now, these guys have held up all this time. I don't think there's something going to break now. So, Hayes, let's get you around. Yep. Let's have you two in this cover. Now, 1-on-1 fight there. Forrest is in some cover. Made sure that he managed to get into some cover before he turned around. We could have got shots on this, on Cutler, as he was charging a lot earlier, but we'd have been left out in the open. And then, whilst we were in range, turning to get into what little bit of scrub we could find, would have presented a flank. So we'll go now. How did you end up in melee? And why are you shuffling yourself around? One cannon unit. Done. Still 77% morale. Little is killed. Where the hell is Little? Little, I swear to God, if you are... No, you're not. Where's Little? I don't recognise Little. Might be one of theirs. Probably is one of theirs, actually. It did zoom up here. It's probably the 3rd South Carolina. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Need to break contact if we can. Done. Now let's go. Lost control of Finnegan. And he's off. Alright. Let's extend this line. Put cannons behind them. And we're just going to have to try and push through. I don't know how long we have to capture all sorts of fields for. We'll just have to... We'll just have to see. Cable is getting resupplied. 7th, 2nd even. Push you forward. And race, let's get you going. Also, we don't have time for them to set themselves, really. Forest, nope, actually. Yeah, get yourself in behind. You lot move forward to the point where you can fight before they set up their own defensive line. And how are we getting on over here? Send the 5th out to get sacrificed as with the 7th. Just want them to drop the rifles. Oh, Harland. Push forward if you need to, if you want space. Hayes, you pull forward as well. Race all the way around the back. Hayes and McGuinness just behind the front line. Where did we put these units? Get you around the back. Pressure you on. The weight of fire coming from here. It's ridiculous. Right. Destroyed a unit. Let's push on. It'll open up a space for Kirkland to get into. I will use probably dismounted cav just to protect the flank or breathed. Actually, forced you again there. Hayes will roll you forward. McGuinness will roll you forward. There are so many. You're all facing this way. You've actually relinquished ground. I know I wasn't meant to do this, but it's almost as if, you can see, it's almost as if they've been programmed that if this is under threat, to pull people back into this area. Look at how many cannons are here. Obnoxious amount of cannons. Wow, another unit just melted. I want you, nope, I want you and you to press forward, and I want you into that area there. Looks like these cannons are crying out for ammunition, which will hopefully slow down their rate of reload. They've wasted a lot of shells, a lot of ball even, on long range engagements. You fire into that. You fire into that. Let's move you two even further up. You're guarding that flank. You should be guarding enough of Preston's flank. I don't really want to be in range of them in cover. Looks like Forrest isn't. Looks like the third isn't. Let's push the third round and get flank into Schweitzer. Okay. You route Lyle out of the position. You onto Edgel. You're continuing to turn the attention of all these cannons actually. Where else can we make a nuisance of ourselves? That's decent cover. Go after 10 breeze around here. It could do with you firing as and when you can. When you firing at Ames, I want you firing at Alcock, I want you firing at Ricketts. In fact, we should probably focus one down. Ricketts. Do you fire at Ricketts as well? Nope. Alright, Alcock. Firing, you move ahead of the line. You need to move up a little bit actually. As do you. Whew. Nope. You fire this, and you fire this as well. Let's shuffle around just a little bit so that we can get Whiting into the side of Brewster. Come on. You've been sat there perfectly happily for a long time. Why do you now have to move? You into side of stone if you can. In fact, McAllister's got shit to go. Don't worry. And we'll see very soon. Contested for 30 minutes. Do we have enough here to last for 30 minutes? Honestly, don't know. You're firing this, you're firing as that, you're firing as that. You yep. This is going to be interesting. I wonder if it's at no. We're going to get to 27 minutes and then we're going to go another however many minutes to hold on. That should be a flank. If it's not, carry on. What has this become? Could do with a general behind her, I think. George Pickett is wounded. Don't know if he's one of us. Looks like Carol's been turned away. Oh, was that flank? Well, how about you stop being flanked? Let's spin you around. looks like tower and breathe have got their shit together. Breathe down there. Tower just so. You should be firing at the ones that you can fire at. You should be in some sort of cover, but you're not. However, we'll keep you firing at stone. Hopefully breathe can rout stone away. You're meant to be firing into Brewster. Breathe, you're meant to be doing something. Right, unit. I don't know how big that unit was. It wasn't particularly small, but it has now just left the battlefield. That's another charge. Another charge somewhere. What are you doing? What? Did anyone see me double click for charge there? I don't remember doing it. Well, you might as well charge now. Charging into uber mega defensive positions. Utterly stupid. But you will remember that mistake by the amount of families you have to go and tell after the battle about how their male relatives are dead. Yeah, because we stupidly charged when we were told not to. Retards. Units gap. Let's not fire into people in cover. Let's fire instead into Frank. Let's go fuck Frank up. Both of you. I'll shift you around ever so slightly and we'll try and mess up Frank as well. Howland has kept this position really well. Uber impressed with it. Hayes has been dragged into fucking melee. Get out. How can if that was melee? How could they? Because you could see they were still being drawn into it. How could they get a shot away if that was melee? Can someone riddle me that, please? You fire it into Rittenhouse. On you back into that position there. You're into Schweitzer, Hayes into Schweitzer, McGuinness. I can't afford McGuinness to move. I'd like to move him a little bit further forward, but no. We need the morale shock of him doing his shit. Wounded. Let's move you a little further forward. Who are you firing at? Yep. When this descends into melee, I want you to turn ever so slightly and fire into Brook. Good. I want you through this tiny gap that's going to open up when breathed continues to spin, trying to get shots onto stone. you move. Hazy, you move as well. At least Nelson is in alright cover. I say alright, still fairly crap. When you move into this cover here, second South Carolina, when you're moving into that cover there, hopefully you'll get messed up, drop all your rifles. We'll have second South Carolina skirmishers in this cover firing at the 14th. Should allow Finnegan and Stedman past them. Nope. No, you're flanked. Fine, you're not in control of what you're doing. Now breathe, turn around this way. Let the South Carolinas deal with them. Come on, tower. You move out slightly. Same with Kirkland. And we'll use this opportunity to move McGuinness just a little further forward. Kill them all indeed. You're not firing into them. Let's try push you past if we can. Well, it's not been pretty. Not by any stretch of the imagination. And it's still not over. Let's not all do the counting of chickens and shit. As much as I want to help this, I don't, because if these guys drop all their weapons, then we should be able to pick a good amount of them up off the floor. So they have focus as skirmishers. Interesting. Might use this in the future if I want to get past a defensive position. Put someone within range, preferably skirmishers, in good cover, which will be a decent cover. Skirmishers are quite hard to dislodge anyway, and use that distraction to push more fragile units behind them. Interesting. Tower, I'm going to need you back in this gap if you please. I don't know how these can both fire. You're either blocked or you're not blocked. The ambiguity of it all. It gets to me. Nope, Holland. At this stage, do not turn to such an extent that you end up exposing your flank and fleeing out of there. I would smash up my computer for that. Probably wouldn't, but can I get you even further? You're not doing anything. Let's at least spin you around. Excellent work. You into Mink. You... Whitting's going to end up in melee. We'll stand behind so we can get shots in as well. In fact, Alcock is probably the first one there that will rout. Come on, end the game. Are you not entertained? Are we not done? We are done. Oh my word. That was tiring. That really was. You can see how the last battle and this battle, they're almost, it's almost grand battle stage. I think pushing men behind and not having a continuous line around, so not having to have these men on the field as well, so that we could focus a lot more men in a very small area and punch through the defense of the flag, worked. However, I'd have liked another cannon over here, and I'd liked another unit or two. We could have pulled Tribute out. We could have probably pulled... No, probably just Tribute. Maybe even the units that we got given at the start, the South Carolina regiments. We should have pulled them all the way around the back. We should have also had our cavalry around the back as well. In time before this unit got back onto its defensive position. But yeah, making our own little front in this corner and then pushing out. That worked well. It negated all these defences. Even though we did push up from the south. Probably not the best idea I've ever had. Although how much of these attacking here drew like Miles and Lyle and whoever else down into this corner, I don't know, but we'll never know. But I'm going to finish it there. Well, those are some big numbers. Killed 40,000 at the loss of 11,000 ourselves. Considering we were attacking into they were attacking into us into very well defended area. I reckon the majority of those 11,000 losses came from the second stage of the fight, when we had to take the fight to the enemy and try and breach their... they had defences as good as ours. You could see when this down here descended into melee. Zook did amazing. 3,875 kills for just 216 losses. That's like cannon. That's like 24 pounder cannon kind of numbers. Amazing. Speaking of 24 pounders, they did well. I think Sems was out. I think it was. We had two in the bottom. They did work, and then we had one in the top that was set slightly further back. That's probably him. Fifth South Carolina did really good, as did the third. 2 died, unfortunately. 3 died. Little. Yep, Little wasn't ours. We didn't have a Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, whichever one you say. On the field. Pickett has been wounded. Yeah, I thought Pickett was a division command. Picked up quite a lot of Harper's Ferries. Rescued quite a lot as well. How about Richmond's? Rescued 2,394 Richmonds. It's almost a division's worth. Fairly happy with that, to be honest. Almost a division's worth, but definitely a division's worth of the Springfield 1861, which is on par with the Richmond. We rescued 7 howitzers, thankfully. Not bad. Although I would like to see slightly bigger numbers for the fact that, you know, 40,000 men. Actually, no. If we won the day and we have control over the battlefield, then it's essentially, what, 51,000 men? 97,000 guns? No, not just 97 guns, even. Of 97 guns that hit the deck, we didn't pick up that many of them. I wonder if nailing of the guns was a thing back then, or I think they called it spiking. In order to render a cannon useless for the short term, they used to have wedges of like an iron spike. They'd hammer it in to where they touched the cannon off, and if you couldn't set off the cannon, then you couldn't make the cannon work. It was often, I know for definite, Napoleonic times, if the position was about to be overrun, instead of having those cannons fall into the enemy hands, or if those cannons were to be turned and used on your own men in that very same battle, the cannon crews would spike the guns and bug out, because even though in this game they can roll cannons faster than men can walk, it's not really a thing. So 12,500 men back for that. No one captured. Still, it's more than we lost, so we're heading in the right direction. Good amount of reputation, good amount of money. We'll grab more training, even though we're still not using veterans. And the next fight will be, what did they get? They're down to 80 to 85,000, which is obviously it's a more manageable number. They received about 4,000. I hope that last fight hasn't made Cold Harbor. Actually, no. Cold Harbor is a weird one. Cold Harbor, if you're aggressive, day one, you can win the fight very quickly. Usually it's like a 3-day thing, 2-day thing, maybe a 3-day thing. But if you play it correctly, you can win on the first day with very few losses. And by very few losses for yourself, transversely, it's also very few losses for the enemy. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. You don't lose men, but the enemy doesn't lose men either. We are going to have to spend some of this, though. Can we get anything? No, we can just get money. Why haven't we got... After the last grand battle, we never got anything in here that we could spend our reputation on. We are gonna have to spend it. There's no point in going into Cold Harbor, getting 25 points, getting 25 reputation, and us just maxing it out. But anyway, I've been Luckymarine. As always, you lot have been amazing. That has been almost 2 hours. I hope you managed to get to the end of it. That was challenging. That was as challenging as Saunders Farm. It really was. Those two fights have the potential, especially if you're not aggressive in that last fight. Especially if you don't take the final objective, which I can see a lot of people doing. I can see a lot of people sitting behind the defences and just thinking, well, I've got a really good defensive position here. I'm gonna lose this fight, however, I'm still gonna make the enemy pay for it. It's gonna be a pyrrhic victory for them. I can see people losing quite a few men there. Because I think for a defeat you don't get any manpower back, so that'll be 10,000 of your troops. Laurel, yeah, it'll be about, say, 10,000 of your troops, ish, that you'd lose, and you won't get back because it wouldn't be a win, it'd be a loss for not taking. Would it be a loss or would it be a draw? Might even be a draw. Could be a draw. I don't know. You have to go back in the video and check how much it would be for a draw. Yeah, I can see people not quite getting to the objective in time, or just purely just not going for it, and just thinking, well, I'll take the kills instead. But then the enemy they get magical numbers pulled out of their arse, don't they? 89,000 here, 90 odd thousand there, 120,000 here. Yeah. So it might be painful, but I think it's worth going for that victory. You do get a good amount back for a victory, so it's worth pushing that point. Anyway, I've been Luckymarine. As always, you lot have been amazing. Join me next time for what will be the damp squib of Cold Harbour. So damp squib, we're going to be aggressive the first day, and we're going to try and end it on the first day. Until then, do take care.